really doing what they supposed to be doing. They preparing these kids for prison.
Wow.
Set us up for
So this is a setup. We talk about a setup right here.
Set
up for failure.
Set up for failure.
Twan, lay it on us. What you thinking?
Well, you know, they the first, like, quiet thieves in the city.
You said quiet.
Quiet thieves.
Got it.
You know?
They professional thieves. They ain't quiet about it.
You know, like,
Mama said it ain't stealing when you do it in your face.
it's here that they partnership with the prison industry to set up the whole process. It says if I get suspended by the age of in the 4th grade, then it's guaranteed that I'll be in prison. Which they put me out, and I wound up city jail.
City jail.
They put me out. I wound up selling narcotics in the street.
So when were you put out?
I was put out 1986.
What grade? 4th grade?
No.
Jesus.
No. I was put out in the first year of the 9th
I can't be
grade.
thinking numbers right now.
I was already, with no doubt, I was already hustling in the street because I was cutting class. Certain classes wasn't holding my interest.
Okay.
So I was leaving school,
All right.
you know?
And this was about middle school?
Yeah.
So middle school, you were already in the streets,
Yeah.
already selling narcotics.
Yeah.
So you were on your way.
Yeah, I was already missionary in the game, but I was still interested in going to school though.
Okay.
You know, but once they put me out,
He went to
I
school.
was like, I went to school. Baltimore streets became the school for me.
That became the real school.
Yeah, that became the school. And that's where I learned really mathology at.
He learned the math that he learned in school, applied it to his streetology. He just didn't know that it was going to work when he got to school.
I learned how to be a bully.
Wow.
Yeah, in school, you know, like Yolanda said, because certain schools systems, like Lamel was known. In Lamel, you had to fight.
Yes.
Lamel was where? Well, holler at me. Where's Lamel?
Lamel in West Baltimore, right there behind, off of Gwynn Falls.
Okay.
Well, it don't exist in Lamel no more because it's closed down.
Okay, but this school was known for fighting.
Yeah, it was known for fighting.
Okay, so you fought in school.
Yeah, we fought, like, where I lived at Park Heights, it was a divider line on Cold Spring between the top and the bottom. But all of us went to Green Spring. So, going to school, before we got in school, it was already fighting. But then, like, couldn't nobody, like, really control us in that.
So Yolanda, you say you was a bully.
Yeah, I learned it from Jerry.
So what in school or you learned to be a bully?
They taught me how.
Okay, well tell me how school teaches somebody to be a bully.
Conditioned behavior.
The kid, exactly. They behave. First of all, if your teachers is a bully, and then you have to go and jump in front of your teacher's face, and then these children want to test you, they teach you how to be a bully. So yeah, I'm also the one that got put out of high school first year.
So the teachers were bullying the students?
Yeah, she used to throw shoes at us and every all kinds of crazy stuff.
Okay.
Miss Hebron, I'll never forget it.
So we had a culture of violence in school, a lack of resources in school, and then kids were fighting over like their neighborhoods. They brought that to school. That's what happened in school.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was the neighborhoods, but we was all from the neighborhood site in Cherry Hill.
Okay.
But it was a separation between the top and the bottom, so it wasn't a neighborhood.
It's always a separation.
Right.
Always.
So Cherry Hill against
Cherry Hill.
Yeah, it's always a separation.
Then you got the mixture with the gangs and the schools in the neighborhoods.
Okay, so your school had a gang presence.
So we had over East Baltimore, the Alameda, we had H.O.P.E, which was down here, and then we had Winston. So H.O.P.E, that area was more like a blood area.
Okay.
It was more like Bloods and stuff like that, or Purple City or whatever. And then when you go up to Winston, my grandmother lived on McCabe, so I was from around the area of Winston, but I went to H.O.P.E because I lived on the other side. So you couldn't even get on certain buses because the colors. Like Winston, automatically they wore blue, so they wore like colors. H.O.P.E wore burgundy, so it was already the gang population.
Wait a minute, so you're telling me the uniforms?
Yeah, the uniforms.
Yeah, because we got to put context for the people. So you're saying the uniforms that were issued by Baltimore, the Board of Education, or city schools,
Bought gangs in the school.
brought the gang colors to the school.
They
Yes.
put the mentality.
It
The
brought that
mentality, all of these
Yeah.
certain schools wear certain colors,
Mhm.
and so that's how they started getting all this division amongst the schools.
Yeah.
Then we had school
Wow.
police. We
There
had
we
school
go.
police. So
That was ratchet.
it was a lot
That's
of kids that didn't know. It was a lot of kids that was together in these gangs. So you could have a kid, he leaving class, he'll bump into you, you bump into the wrong person. They whistling down the hallways. Before you know it, you got 12, 13 people standing around you. What are you gonna do? You're not gonna do nothing. You're gonna let that person attack you and do what they do. We had kids
In school,
in school. We had kids getting stabbed up. We had kids getting locked in lockers for the weekend.
Yeah, so
wait, hold up.
I remember.
Hold up. Did you say they locked them in the locker for the weekend?
For the weekend.
Where
They
was
be
that
over there
from?
for the weekend.
The whole freaking weekend.
The school's not even the same school anymore. They changed the school to an academy now.
I understand, but I'm saying a child could be
Yes.
in a
Somebody's
locker.
But no teacher would check to see if they was even in there. Yeah. It was happening.
Parents.
That's
But you know, some of these parents is out in the street. They don't even know where their kids at.
Right.
Wow. That's
So I
serious.
would know that my child was
And
in the locker.
I think a lot of times,
Real talk.
like Andre Bundy, right? When he had became like the principal of Walbrook or something,
Sure.
and he locked the doors, and I think at that time, like he was trying to protect outsiders from getting in, but he actually committed a mentality of controlled environment on them. And when he locked them doors, so it meant everything that was inside meant fair game.
But did every school lock their door?
No, you can't lock the doors. You ain't supposed to lock the
Yeah,
doors.
you ain't supposed to.
You
That's a
supposed
fire
to,
hazard.
But they did.
Yeah.
He
See,
tried to do
and that was one of the
But you know,
biggest
Joe Clark
issues.
did that in
I was
Chicago.
gonna say.
Yeah, he tried to do that in New Jersey or New
Yeah.
York. He didn't do that in Chicago.
Okay, bro. I ain't messing with Chicago. You don't let nobody mess with Chicago. You come for C-Town, he comes at you.
He don't do that
Okay,
in
but
Chicago.
he locked the school doors. You know, that was a way that said it kept the kids together. But Twan, you saying that was a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like when you lock somebody in, nobody, not even an animal wants to be locked in nowhere. So
So you starting this prison thought.
Right.
Yeah.
And in
I
that
see what you're
process,
saying.
start coming outside, and they dealing with dudes who just coming home, and they finding them, but in school all day they locked in, so it made them prone already to preempt, to understand what the conditions of prison was going to be like.
Mm.
So by this and parole and probation being behind each other, they can collaborate the mentality. We already locking them in,
Yep.
so we already preconditioned. He gonna put out. He gonna get suspended. Well, let us get him,
Yep.
and we'll send him Boys Hickey, Montrose,
Boys
City
Village.
Jail. But now they got juvenile detentions.
Prisons within prisons.
So you have the Board of Education sitting right by the Division of Corrections. They don't even have to get in the car to talk to each other. They just walk across the courtyard and sit and
Have lunch.
have lunch.
But they don't talk to each other.
They got to.
They don't talk to each other.
Well, the prison pipeline is serious.
Yeah, but they're not gonna sit up. They don't talk to each other.
At some point, they having a conversation.
Yeah, the head people, the people in
Well,
here.
that's what I'm talking about. So they're too close, first of all. I don't think that something that is to actually institutionalize a child should be around something that's supposed to liberate a child. The Board of Education should liberate you.
Yeah, supposed to.
And
Did
it
you see
doesn't-
this building? What did this building used to be?
The Division of Corrections is to
building used to be
institutionalize you. So that's a problem. That's an
Antoine, what this
absolute
building
problem.
used to be?
It was the old way.
Let's stop for a minute, because I need, my frame can't handle both of y'all being, y'all gotta be a little more intimate. I need y'all to be a little more close. So the way you got your mask on.
He had some.
You told me to
previous
slide this way.
conditions.
But look at my frame, man. My frame is hard.
I just got out the hospital. I had heart condition.
Oh yeah, I don't want you to keep that on.
Trying to keep them safe.
Trying to be. I'm in the 60 and over crowd.
Why I gotta sit beside?
Because you
You
don't
have a
care.
call?